All right, next topic. Well, no, we're gonna go back further into this Biden. His approval rating.
Also, his protege,
as you
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, regrets. Trump would beat Biden today. More women and blacks support.
Ooh. But they came out with that black girl magic and got Biden into the White House.
Yeah. So with this situation, this is also, by the way.
But now Biden being in the White House because of this,
But hold on. This also might just be a setup.
Could be.
They might be trying to convince the public to not support Biden no more.
So they can usher in Kamala Harris to be.
Exactly. So we're going to get to this whole situation, how possibly it's all staged to put forth Kamala as the president. But
she's not real black girl magic, though. She's synthetic black girl magic.
Yeah, they ain't authentic. She's synthetic.
Black women ain't upset because they not getting their weave orders in from overseas, are they?
Whoa, you went to a cut. You brought the blade out of nowhere. Damn, the machete.
They gonna give you the conversation. It's just a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I'm playing. Regrets. Trump would beat Biden today with more women and black support. You see that a slew of new polls have come out this week showing the shrinking support for the approval of President Joe Biden. It's average now below 50%. By a 6-point margin. They say he would lose by a 6-point margin, 43%, 33%.
He lost by a 12-point margin during the real election. What you talking about?
The sizable 14% would choose some other candidate. So they said right here, it said the details of the survey, which samples more Democrats than Republicans, show that Trump would win more women and blacks than he did in 2020 when he lost to Biden 46%, 51%.
That's a lie. He didn't lose.
A sizable 14% would choose some other candidate, though none were named.
Listen, this is how you know Trump won. Just about everybody you hear, we even saw people on the internet, that said, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I tossed and turned the whole night. I just felt like something in my spirit was telling me that when I woke up the next morning, they were going to rig the vote. And sure enough,
they rigged the vote.
Our intuition was on point because they rigged the votes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
How do you have insomnia over a... we don't do this over a president. I've never done that before. Even with Barack Obama, I wasn't like, he's got to win. He's got to win. He was like, first term I voted for him. Second term I didn't vote for him. That's how you know at that point you didn't give a fuck.
I saw you had to clean it up.
I had to clean it because I have to be honest. And when I voted for him that one time, I wasn't up like,
yeah, you just voted.
Obama got to win.
He the black dude.
It's like, okay, if you get in, you get in.
Yeah. Kamala Harris tanking in polls as she goes over to ground on Afghan withdrawal. As you can see, 55% say she is not qualified or not qualified at all. Is that some of the lowest numbers for a vice president?
They said that she had the lowest. It was the worst in history, I believe. For a vice president, it was the worst in history.
Oh, black girl magic breaking
synthetic
more.
Black girl magic.
Black girl magic breaking more boundaries, breaking records out here.
She breaking records of being the worst.
Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. Random video starts playing. Kamala Harris taking in polls as she goes to ground in Afghan withdrawal. You see, Americans have further soured on Vice President Kamala Harris as she continues her radio silence on the chaotic and tragic withdrawal of U.S. forces from Afghanistan. A new poll indicates, according to the Rasmussen Reports surveys released Thursday, 55% of likely voters say that the former senator, from California is either not qualified or not at all qualified to assume the duties of the presidency. By contrast, 43% consider Harris qualified or very qualified to be commander-in-chief. Now I just have a question. Why are they putting it out there?
They're trying to feel airwave whether or not they are going to be responsive to Kamala Harris becoming the president of the United States.
That is meant for you to they
testing the waters.
They did testing the waters right there. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. They literally openly they show you Biden's numbers going down, and then they immediately say, "Well, how do you feel about Kamala?" So I asked the question again.
We don't fuck with her either.
Did they push this button to cause more chaos around Biden to start ushering in Kamala?
Yes.
Obama. The dude has dementia. Are they trying to? Do they not want to impeach him? They want him to step down because of the dementia, or they're gonna try to impeach him for the this terrible.
I think because they don't want to tarnish him. they're gonna say he's not cognitive able. He's not able to perform his duty as the vice president because he, mentally, because they don't want to tarnish him because we know that this was a setup from the beginning for Kamala Harris to be president. We said that since the election. How did this woman go at him during their the debate?
Yeah.
And then he turned around and uses this woman as his vice president.
Yeah.
When she accused him of bussing BS, which, like, how the fuck you was bust? You were born in...
Yeah,
none of that, like, unless she's a traveler, she's a different person. She was smoking weed in high school, in college with Tupac.
And
Tupac was like
in the 80s. She did in the 80s.
I didn't know Tupac was putting out music at 5 or 6, 7 years old.
Well, no, I think he had to be. When was Tupac born?
Tupac. Let me look up the age.
Say about the criticisms of Kamala Harris. Now, what's her name? What's his name? Bree. The one with the Bernie person.
Bernie bro. I mean, a Bernie.
Bernie. What's the about?
What did they call themselves?
Bernie Bros.
Well, they didn't call
themselves that name was put on them.
Even the women are called Bernie Bros.
Yeah.
Bernie hoes.
Bernie said I got hoes. But she, what's that dude? The Johnson dude called her. She's part of the island of misfit black girls. Now we did find a tweet of her saying some crazy shit. Remember when she said that black men and white women were comparable, and people were like, and as far as the treatment and the idea of getting through oppression and stuff, they were like, wait, white man. And she never said that. Be like, oh, she dating a damn white dude. She said, I'm not dating a white dude. And then somebody found a picture of her with an Asian dude. Yeah, it was crazy. But so she has.
And she denied being an Asian dude too. Said her boyfriend was black, didn't she?
She never showed him. But she has definitely some. She's definitely not. She's like one of those people that believe in classism. She just think classism is the biggest problem, not racism. So yeah,
that's Bernie.
That's Bernie's platform. Yeah, exactly. That's why anybody that supported Bernie who was black, they don't believe racism is the problem. Like Tim Blackman said, he been going off on all over. He been going off on that left, whatever you call him. He been saying, y'all don't give a fuck about black people. Y'all are racist. He calling out the racism on the left. And it's like, you finally get it. These damn white people, socialists, whatever you want to call themselves, they don't give a fuck about you. They trying to get free car. They trying to get they
even the progressives. The progressives
that's what I'm talking about. The left. They trying to get.
The progressives are kind of different from the Democratic.
No,
they still consider themselves.
When I say left, I mean progressive. When I say Democrat, I mean the regular ones. But they believe in just getting their debt washed from college. The college debt washed. They believe in free college. They don't give a damn about no reparations.
They believe that they believe that you'll get something out of it too, black people.
Yeah.
That you just
flooding waters raise all boats. Is what they believe.
Yeah. So you can't just focus on your issue only. We need to focus on the underclass issues.
Let's see what they had to say. Well, she had to say right here. Brianna Joy. No, not Joy. I don't know why her name is. I can't think of her name right now.
Who, her?
Yeah, he'll say her name in the thing. Let's see.
Well, certainly it would be difficult to disentangle the reality of misogyny and racism from any critique of the first black woman VP. I would agree that any black woman in a prominent political position who is public facing is going to be under heightened scrutiny. I can say, as the national press secretary for the Bernie Sanders campaign, I was viciously attacked at several points during the campaign cycle. The editor of The Root had to step down from his position there and temporarily from MSNBC because of disparaging remarks that he made about me and campaign co-chair Senator.
Oh yeah, that's the misfit black girl dude, Johnson. He the one that said that.
Nina Turner. But I also think it's important to look at the broad trajectory of Kamala Harris's career here and see to what extent that she has to own some aspect of this based on her personal behavior. She's someone who burst onto the scene in 2017 with a lot of hope, a lot of high expectations on her, and she seemed to be modeling herself as kind of a progressive future of the Democratic Party. She, often advertised herself as one of the first signatories of Bernie's Medicare for All bill. She seemed like, and I wrote about this in The Guardian at the time, the real contender for the 2020 race. But what we saw once the race started to progress was that she ended up walking back many of her positions in a way that left voters, I think, really uncertain about who she was. She flip-flopped on Medicare for All. She seemed to not really have a sense of identity, so much so that Bernie Sanders actually outperformed her with black voters under 45 by 3 times at one point. Not only did she fall behind, ended up walking back many of her positions in a way that left voters, I think, really uncertain about who she was. She flip-flopped on Medicare for all. She seemed to not really have a sense of identity, so much so that Bernie Sanders actually outperformed her with black voters under 45 by 3 times at one point. Not only did she fall behind Joe Biden, but she fell behind Bernie Sanders and even Elizabeth Warren.
Listen, she had no black support.
None.
She had a dropout in November.
She didn't have no funding either.
How the hell do you lose to Elizabeth Warren?
Pocahontas?
How did you manage to lose the black vote to Elizabeth Warren, who had no black support?
Hey, Pocahontas had it going on.
Not able to get out of single digits with black voters. And then after she joined the Joe Biden ticket, she found herself having to renegotiate all of her old, even more of her old stances, rather. Remember that she was a proponent of recurring $2,000 checks. That didn't happen. She was a proponent of some, student debt cancellation, which Biden has certainly dragged his feet on. The Medicare for all do-si-do is notable.
So, as you can see, she's just a bad politician.
Bad politician.
Basically, with all that said, she's a bad politician.
She wasn't good.
So she
you know what? She should got all her. Barack Obama ain't trained her good, because Barack Obama was a excellent politician.
You're right. He's a great liar.
He was a great liar, a great manipulator. He got into the White House. First term and second term, black people asked him for
nothing. He was enough, as they say. Make it enough. All right. Let's see what the defender of Kamala had to say. Well, her words were not as defensive as I thought it would be, but she definitely made excuses for her in the end. So let's see what she had to say about old Kamala.
We also have to remember that, Joe Biden didn't really have a large N to choose from. We know that most presidents choose from senators and governors. We have yet to have a black female governor in the history of the United States. And you remember Joe Biden initially specifically said that he would choose a black female as his running mate. And then he sort of backtracked and said a woman. But, many of us remembered when he said black woman. And so obviously Kamala Harris, as the only sitting black female senator, was available. She's only the second in the history of the nation. We know Carol Moseley Braun from Illinois in 1992. And so, she finds herself on an island by herself in many ways. She's working in an administration. She and Joe Biden weren't terribly close before they joined forces. And we know that sometimes presidents and vice presidents have these uneasy alliances. She's also our first, and the two members of a ticket, she's the first Democrat in history to come from the western side of the Rockies. We're not accustomed to electing presidents or vice presidents from the West Coast. So she also brings a different type of diversity that many people aren't accustomed to. I do think that her portfolio is such that it's going to be a problem if she runs in 2024 or 2028. We know that there are going to be several white men who wake up, whether they're octogenarians or septuagenarians, as we saw in 2020, who think that they should be president. And they're going to have pretty much an arsenal of all the things that Kamala Harris wasn't able to accomplish in the middle of a global pandemic, in the shadow of her vice president.
In the shadow of her vice president? Did she just call Biden the vice president?
She called Biden the vice president, and Biden made a slip up a couple of months ago and called Kamala Harris
President Harris. They know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing. The plan has been set in motion. Kamala Harris will be president.
So when Kamala Harris is elected,
not elected,
selected.
No, when Biden is impeached or steps down and she becomes president.
When Biden steps down, we're going to come back to this clip and say
she knew. They all know, though. Biden been saying it for months. The president been saying he's the vice president for months. So,
and Barack Obama just been grooming Kamala.
She's terrible though, man.
Kamala.
But, we have to remember that a vice president's job is to support the president. They serve, just like everyone else, cabinet members, et cetera, at the pleasure of the president. And so even though she was elected by the Electoral College via, voters in our complex voting system, at the end of the day, she reports to Joe Biden. He's the one who dictates what her policy positions will be.
The vice president isn't really elected. The president, the one, is elective, and whoever he chooses comes with him, correct? They just use the person on the ticket to help get more voters.
Yeah,
but she's not elected.
She's supposed to help with other sides.
Yeah, but she's not elected. It was Joseph Biden and Donald Trump names. We never saw Kamala name up there.
Yeah,
because if we did, they show as hell wouldn't have voted for it.
So with all the support that they had, they dropping the support. We want to show
where they came from,
where they
started from.
Let me show y'all this clip.
Where it ended.
Let me show y'all this clip and the celebration for Biden winning.
Can we sing this? What's our critical president? Obama, we take you back to before I let you.
They was getting down too, especially that girl with the mask on.
And you know what? They giving out our cookout song, but it was Beyonce on it. It wasn't an original track because we don't play Beyonce at the
cookout.
At the cookout, we play
Barbecue,
Frankie Beverly.
the family reunion, the get together, the how you say it, the kickback.
The kickback.
You don't play Beyonce version.
Yeah, they letting these people with no rhythm out here dance to this song, knowing if you invite them, you're gonna have people bringing potato salad with raisins, coleslaw with raisins in it.
Oh man, now that's how it started. That had to be what? That was January.
It was January. We can only have some music playing behind it.
I'm just gonna say it. I regret voting for Biden. Definitely should have kept Trump in office. If I knew what I knew now, I would have voted differently.
Oh no!
Now I wouldn't have voted for no Trump either.
Trump is a white supremacist.
The point
he's oppressing our voting.
What I got from this is there really is voter remorse.
Yeah,
we got a video on. We did a video on this March, maybe April.
Hell, they said when Trump was here, we were still able to get shipping coming here.
No, I'm talking about we did a video on voter remorse with Simone Biles.
Simone
Sanders, and then I said that's vote, and the people that voted for them were saying you're not doing what you're supposed to do. When we found out that she wanted the secretary job, and he gave it to the Caucasian woman,
Pelisky, what's her name? Psaki.
Yeah, and I said, oh, voters remorse. We did a video on that all the way back in like April or something. So when I saw this on Twitter, obviously you know who flocked to the tweet immediately: the right wingers, the Trump supporters. Yeah, you should have. But you had black people that saying, we told you not to vote for that motherfucker, and you still voted for him.
Particularly black men told you not to vote for him.
It wasn't just black men. Probably majority. But it was a lot of black women too. We're not going to throw the sisters on the bus like that.
Well, the sister was saying they didn't have, yeah.
Well, I would say probably, we think it was more black men telling them to vote for Trump.
Remember, get your ass to the polls.
You think there were more black men telling them to vote for Trump?
I think a lot of us telling them don't vote, period. And you know, there's some people out there, how can you not vote? And then you sit back and say, yeah, sit it out. Let them fight to see who's going to get in the White House. They're not offering you any incentives, so why vote?
Yeah.